Hi guys, it's me, just Lunstein again, and for this video that I will be dedicating to the month of Halloween, October in 2025, I shall be covering something that no Halloween month should be complete without, and that being an Exorcist movie. What a Halloween month will be complete without at least one movie about possession and spirits and all that other stuff. And Pazuzu. Oh. And so I'm going to be talking about the movie Exorcist 3. Oh, I mean The Exorcist 3. Legion. Because we are many. And this is the director's cut out of YouTube, so I don't know exactly what is so special about this one as compared to the regular one, but yeah, I watched that. It was a little bit different than what I remember it being the first time I watched it, so I'll talk about that when I get to it. But I gotta say that this movie is an apology movie. An apology movie from because the second one was just so horrendous and so bizarre that it feels like it doesn't really belong in an Exorcist movie because it was so very strange and unusual. Normally I like the strange and unusual, but in this case it was too over the top, dumb, and stupid and weird. So, yeah, that's my opinion about the second one in a nutshell. So, here we go with this one. And I gotta admit, this one does pump up the creepy factor a little bit with the main character of the main bad guy being the Gemini Killer, played by the screen legend Brad Dwarf, who you might know from Alien Resurrection, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. But most people, including myself, mainly know him as the voice of Chucky from the Child's Play movies, among a few other things too, but most known as this thing. Now, what was also known is that this movie to me signifies how you do a comedy proper in a horror movie. This between being funny and then and then number two represents how you do something ridiculous. I'll get into that in a few moments. But yeah, this movie is very weird. It's kind of strange, but it's more coherent than the second one. So anyway, we get the name George C. Scott playing a character who is on the way to look. He plays a detective trying to find out the identity behind some killings, and and he plays a detective who is very interested in finding out about who this guy is, because the Gemini Killer, the real guy, died 50 years ago on a electric chair. He rode the lightning on a chair a while ago. So, it can't be him, can it? So, yeah, they talk about how much he liked Father Karras from the first movie, and he visits the famous staircase from the first movie. I want to see that staircase become a something of a horror landmark for people who like those type of movies and like horror movies in general. And I think it's located in Philadelphia. I want to say that. It's out of Chicago. One of the two cities. So if you guys can let me know which one it is, and if you've been there, and if you've walked on the steps, let me know. Because I want to know if there's any possession or something going on there. I mean, I can't walk on those steps for obvious reasons, but it'd be fun to hear from somebody's story about it. So anyway, they also talk about Father Karras. This guy, I knew him personally, and yeah, they show that and everything. It's like a family bond there. So he talked about various other things like religion and all that, and I don't believe that he's a believer in religion either. I think he's an atheist. So anyway, they've been tracking down murderers and stuff, and then going to a psych ward to see this guy who claims to be the Gemini killer. But the thing is that this is what we're talking about when I was talking about the kind of humor I like. He talks about how he goes to this guy and he talks to this he talks to this kid in heaven who died suddenly, and he says, oh, Johnny, I miss you. I wish you weren't killed. And that's what I call funny, but not over the top ridiculous. Also, when he looks at some of the angels over there, I can swear that when I played by by Patrick Ewing of basketball fame, and I know for a fact that one of the angels was played by Fabio, the model, and yes, the cameo guy. So that's how you do comedy right. That and the fact that one of the nurses, when they go and check him and his buddy, I think it's played by James Caan. He plays a father, a priest father, and everything. and when the nurse goes to check up on him and try to draw his blood, he said that he was already taken like 20 minutes ago. He was already given blood, or he already gave blood for 20 minutes ago. So she calls out in the hallway. She calls out like, "Hey, nobody told me that somebody always stuck this guy." So that's really funny, especially because I am petrified of needles myself. So that's that. It was really funny that they did that. Little jokes like that really stood to me. Not only that, but in this movie, they had it was made at a time where I think it was 91 or somewhere around the time period where they actually allowed smoking to be done in psych wards and hospitals, which is very weird nowadays, but it's even weirder back then when they allowed smoking anywhere. People are trying to get better here. They have to have smokers allowed in there, smoking a best farm. And that's the one way to get right back to the bed, the hospital bed. And so in any case, you can tell that this movie is much less about an evil entity possessing somebody and just having a little fun with some dark humor or medical humor. And unfortunately, there is no precision in this movie, which I did find out is the devil or Satan in some Eastern religion somewhere. So he is the top of the ladder as far as evil goes. It's not like in the lingo, somewhat lower on the rungs or something like that. It's really the devil, the evil kind. So let's see here. So after we get all the humor portion of it, he gets in contact with this guy called Jim Killer, even though he would be long dead. But it turns out that he is so evil that he can come back and possess other people, other bodies, and so that the bodies can continue his dastardly work. And he does this, and he inhabits Brad Dourif's character, which I loved Brad Dourif's character in this because he's locked up and is in the street check and all that, but he still comes off as being very menacing and very creepy. For example, Brad Dourif is one of the type of people who can change his voice to be very, very happy, to being very demonic and menacing. I actually wonder if that was him doing the voice for himself when he did the happy choir boy type singing, like alright then, that type of thing. So it was actually really funny that he did that. He'd like to make it seem like the souls of the people that he killed go inside of him, but kind of like we were with the Grapevine, which is something that I forgot to mention in my Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3 talking point with that the souls of the children go inside Freddy like in the Grapevine with the prophet of truth and so on and so forth. So anyway, he said that the beings are with him, that we can be here with him. And they also show that Gemini Killer actually takes peace, calls out the Gemini symbol and other zodiac symbols into the victims. It could actually be seen as the precursor to, say, Jigsaw, or what's the guy that did that, the puzzle guy, it was crypto, not the W. It was this criminal who would always solve puzzles that when they found them, they put them in like a museum or a book or something, and nobody could solve it. Like the enigma code, but it was really cool that. So anyway, they had that aspect of them to kind of influence pop culture somewhat too. Anyway, they had this weird Gemini guy that died years ago, but it re-inhabiting the body of Brad Dourif. So I don't know if this guy is actually more powerful than Zuzu or less powerful. I mean, it is an Exorcist movie after all, so I would think it'd be on the same level, but not as powerful as him, like the same tier as Mr. P. But yeah, let me see. I like I like because I think his overacting, like when he gets angry and pissed off, like with troll angry men, but this is more demonic and more possessed. And yeah, the ending is like kind of disappointing. I'll get to it in a moment. So now you have this guy who's like the boogeyman, like in a possessed body and stuff. So you see that people are still being affected by it. So it's assumed that this guy is the real reincarnation of the Gemini color, the guy that goes around killing people, leaving the mark of twins in them in the victims. So he says, oh, the black boy is was an accident. You know, there's no random killings. Everything is all set up. The thing with naming the people, killing people that are named Kay, Kimberly, Carl, and I don't know, Catherine. Those are not random. I set that up on purpose. It's kind of like setting up the psychotic mentality of some people. Some people are more orderly than others, and some want to make patterns for themselves and all this stuff. But yeah, the main difference between this movie and what I thought I saw a long ago was that I could swear to you that I saw in the cell that he was in the uncle padded room that he was in, there was an opening that when he died, he went into the vortex of hell where he belongs. And I ain't seen it in this movie. Maybe they cut it out for whatever reason. But I remember there being a bit of hell in it. George C. Scott was trying to hold on for dear life from going in there. But I guess not. So anyway, in the movie, George Scott is like, I gotta end this guy. So, yeah, meanwhile, the demon or the possessed guy is over there making threats to him, threatening to hurt more people, all that. So, the cop ends up shooting him in the shoulders and then the head. You know, when he refuses to stay down. So, my question of that is, he kill the body? Wouldn't it make sense that the spirit of Gemini Killer would just go to another person and then continue his work there? I mean, if anything, you should just exorcise the demon or call a priest or something. You know, this is called the Exorcist movie for a reason. He has to apply the quotation of because we are many, like both the Marvel characters. You know, Professor X's son and Mephistopheles' kid. They both use that quote. So yeah, I don't know what he didn't just exorcise the demon and prevent him from going to some other host or possibly incapacitate this host even more that they couldn't get out, or trap the demon in its body and then use like some kind of spell tags to keep him stay put and whatnot. But that was like kind of a dinky type of resolution. And the moral demon or bad guy with a human weapon That don't make sense. When you use some holy water and some cross, like they didn't create in Nightmare on Elm Street 3. But yeah, it was actually cool to see Red Dwarf actually did some very talented work working with his voice, and he sounded very demonic and very threatening. And Tracy Scott was extra too. I think that was I think Mr. Khan did well too. And of course they had to have the theme song there. Musical piece from the first movie there. But other than that, the actual connection to the first movie was just flimsy at best. And it kind of a letdown, but a hell of a lot better and more serious than the second movie. They went to Africa and they did the whole thing with the former locust. And they did that tomato spitting thing. And it's very confusing and very weird. So yeah, I like this movie a lot. Even though there was no hellfire or anything like that. But wouldn't it be funny if George Scott were to sing the Hellfire song from the 100 Notre Dame? That would have been something nice. Anyway, I thank you for watching my video discussion about the Exorcist Part 3 Legion, or Exorcist 3 Legion. It was fun. I enjoyed the cute humor, like Fabio and the black boy in quotations go to heaven. I feel kind of ooey about a white guy referring to a black kid as a boy for obvious reasons. Next thing you know, they'll be having a Russian being referred to as a Soviet, or a Asian person as a Oriental or something. That's kind of questionable. But it is the Halloween month in October 2025. As such, I give this my happy piece seal of approval because it's freaking awesome. The movie's great. I love the actors. I like the humor. I like the idea of Fabio in heaven. Many others. I like George Scott. I like Red Dwarf. He's great. Jim color. Very menacing, very he can go from being happy and innocent to being rowdy and demonic for the most part. And that was actually beautiful. If you like what you see here and want to see more of my videos, like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. You can also find out more information on my future videos by calling me or texting me at 631-707-3707. You can follow me on Twitter at PMilsonPro, or you can follow me on X doing the same thing. Also, my email is jjviewingchannel@gmail.com. So I can also I assume anyone like Exorcist movies. Even number 2 has some good stuff in it. And you can I like all horror movies and with a little mixture of comedy in there because you just can't have pure horror with no jokes in there whatsoever. You take it more lightly than you would think, a lot more lightly than the first movie. So anyway, see you around. Peace out, my brothers and sisters, and I'll see you in the next video. All you girls and guys in Interland. Ta-ta and sayonara.